Then everyone knows what I'm doing.
Guys, welcome. This is a special late night edition to Ranbir Sanghera, fat loss, gains, and all kinds of random things having to do with getting super jacked podcast. Yes, the name changes every single time, but topic tonight is very important, and it has to do with, if you're getting ready for something, and this applies to whatever you want it to apply to, but we're talking specifically to, let's say, a sporting event or a competition of some kind, and like you've been doing things a certain way, and then all of a sudden the competition date is approaching, and then you decide to change everything that you've been doing. So I'm here with Coach Alj, aka the deadlift, and this is something I'll lead off with. Like, this is very common in sports, but they do it the correct way. So like, you have a football team and they've been doing, these few plays all season long, and they got to the championship. There's this never happens where they go like, well, fuck it, we're going to run this play now. I know we haven't ran this ever, but we're going to do this. And also, guys, this has been your routine. Let's go ahead and all change our routines completely and try something new.
Or wait, I saw this other team do this just the other week.
So let's do that.
Oh man, that looks so cool.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Nobody does that.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Or people do that, they just aren't very successful in what they think they can achieve.
That's probably more realistic.
What I'm trying to figure out is what justifies the thought that says, yeah, let's change this right now.
Do you think it's nervousness? Or like, maybe I'll get something special?
I don't know, because I don't do that. You get what I'm saying?
Ever?
I don't ever get that. Like, I don't change something.
But I mean, it's like super, like, it makes logical sense. Like,
I'll do it in training. Like, I want to try something out. I just did that right now. Like tucking in the elbows on a bench press as opposed to flaring it out. I just tried it out. You get more pec activation if you do this or something.
But you're not doing that 1 week out or even 1 month out from a meet.
Yeah, correct. I just wanted to try it out. That's it.
I think it's like...
But people legitimately change their whole plan.
Yeah, they just throw it out the window and then do something new.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like somehow we'll get something more if we do this thing versus having the patience to stick with the game plan. Because sticking with the game plan is not sexy. And I think that's always, because it's very simple. There's a saying in basketball where they say, you go to the, I forget how it goes, but it's
Come on, try it. Come on, old man. Come on, old man.
Watch for that video. This 30-year-old can still dunk on your teenage ass. But it's something like you bring the girl that brought you to the dance, to the big dance, or something like that. Like, you take the girl.
That. That's basketball?
That's basketball.
Doesn't sound like basketball.
We're gonna, yeah, because it's for March Madness. Is like, actually, you know what? We're not gonna butcher this. We're gonna Google this. The girl.
San Jose State alum over here.
It's all good. That brought you. Bear with us. Dick Vitale would know what this is. Those of you guys who don't know, Dick Vitale. Do you know Dick Vitale?
I don't know.
Wow. It's all good. Did you know the answer to my question for You Reach, I Teach?
No.
On my Instagram story? You didn't see the Michael Jordan video?
Oh, I saw that one.
Where he plays against his younger self?
Yeah, but I didn't catch that quote. I remember that one. Where
Yeah.
he's in his like he's in his right now, like how he is, or like present, and then he's playing against his North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, well, he's playing against his younger
in
Bulls,
in
and then
his
the
jersey.
North Carolina
Yeah,
guy
there you
comes.
go.
Yeah. It's a great commercial. It goes like this. It goes, dance with the girl that brought you to the dance. Basically meaning, don't change shit up and just forget everything that you've been doing.
You know what? That's how I feel. That's how I feel when I go to a competition where I'm coaching people, and then I see them implement that. That just described how I felt exactly.
That's why it's that's why it's a thing. It's like dance with the girl that brought you to the dance.
But then I go like, okay, if that's
Let
who you
them-
want to dance with.
But if you think about that, and you think about people who are really high performers in sport, right? You always hear about their routine. Okay, damn, like Michael Jordan's routine was this. He always ate the steak. He always ate this. And then he always warmed up his sneakers. He always did this. And that never changed. And there's a reason for that, because you got to get into the same place. Changing things up will give you different results. You know what the results are going to be. And this is what I told. So, we have some of the physical culture people competing. And I told them, this is just another day of lifting.
Yeah.
Except there's going to happen to be a lot of people around. So you're not changing shit. Like, you warm up,
Yeah.
you lift.
I hope they don't
and
change
then-
it.
That's the...
Because you can, no matter how much you prepare them, you can't control what any individual.
But
will do.
my strategy is always, this is a peek behind the curtain, is to make the things that work cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of those things aren't sexy, such as, like, don't flop around on your lifts. Like, don't be a noodle body. Like, be tight as possible. And so I'm trying to make that cool, so then everybody can see it. And then if it's cool, they just do it. And they're on the inside, So, versus trying to convince people, like, oh, no, this is the right way. Like, no, this is just the cool way. If you want to be cool, do it this way.
Yeah.
But,
So make it cool.
yeah. And it is cool, because what's cooler than results?
Medals, trophies.
Well, those are results, so.
Personal records.
Well, they don't happen without, being consistent and doing the same thing over and over again. So, but if you're preparing for something, and you've been doing things a certain way, don't change it. Don't change everything last minute. It's silly. As Dr. Kashi would say, you're being a silly goose. Which is true. And I bet if you have any of them verbalize this and say it out loud,
Yeah.
they would be like, oh.
It's funny because I had one person, because our meet is this weekend, right? So 2 weeks ago, there was another meet. There's like a deadlift extravaganza locally. And this individual said, hey coach, do you think it would affect my meet results if I went to this deadlift competition 2 weeks before? I didn't say anything. All I said, this is through text, and this person goes, and I go to this person and be like, do you think it would affect your results? What do you think? And this person goes like, yeah, I think it would affect my results. Then I'm like, so do you think you should go? It goes without saying, the person goes like, you're right, coach.
Yeah. But I think, this is a part that's really hard, is to just, when you're thinking about things and you don't say them and you don't verbalize them, then you find yourself doing silly things.
That's a good one.
Because if you hear yourself say something, you're like, fuck, that was silly. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
I do that all the time. Like I'll ask Jordan a question or Alberto, and I'll
Yeah.
be like, and I'll be like, you know what? Ignore that. That was a really silly question. So I know what the answer to that is. But that doesn't happen unless you say it and you hear yourself saying it. So that's always helpful. Because we're just in our head so much
Yeah.
that you don't, I guess you don't have like awareness
Yeah.
of what you're thinking, because you're just like thinking. And that's why writing stuff down is so helpful. Like
Helps a
you
lot.
did the 30-day gratitude challenge. It's like,
Yep.
yeah, sure, maybe you're being grateful, but
Yeah.
when you write it down,
You write it down, and then you also tell the world,
yeah,
because now it's not just your friends that know, it's everyone that
Yeah.
knows. Yeah.
What's your routine going into the meet?
Going into a meet. I practice. Man, mine is just the same as I would in training, in my workouts. If it's, you have squat, bench, deadlift. So squat, you warm up your lower body. How I warm up my lower body for a lower body workout, and then I hit my squats, like my sets for warm ups, just like I would warm up for a workout. Nothing changes. Everything's the
What's
same.
your typical warm up for squat day?
So a squat day, I would, do my dynamic stretches, and then I would do a 500-meter row, dynamic stretches. If there is no row machine, I do my jumping jacks, just like we do here in class, San Jose Barbell, and then go into my dynamic stretches, and then warm up with the bar. That's it. If I wanna make things more exciting, I'll do squat jumps.
There you go.
Or some
Get crazy.
Some jumps. That's it.
I don't remember how somebody asked like, oh, should I do foam rolling?
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
Yeah, why not?
Why?
Oh well, and to give context, this person never foam rolled, and so before the
Yeah.
meet they wanted to foam roll.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I would tell every single person, even if I'm not coaching them, and they ask me, and people have asked me, dude, how should I warm up? It's my first meet, and I see you're coaching all these people. I tell them, how did you warm up in your workouts when you work out? Oh, like this. Okay, warm up like that. That's it. Very easy. People think like there is this special ingredient, like, oh
Yeah.
my God, there's a special warm up for competition, special warm up for squat, special warm up for deadlift, whatever. And I'm like, nope, it is not. You just do the stuff that you've been doing.
Dance with the girl that brought you.
Damn right. There you go.
It's similar in basketball because I was able to play college basketball and basketball my whole life because I could shoot, and so my free throws were very, very good. And the thing that helps, so like I made a lot of shots at the end of games, and I loved it. And typically there's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure at the end of a game. But the thing that I found, and when I ever got away from this, I wouldn't make it. I would not make it. If I thought about it, if I did something different, if I took like 3 seconds longer on my shot, it would always go in. If I did the same, like it had to be the exact same rhythm and the exact same time. Like I couldn't take 10 seconds where if I always took 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So like if I hold on and concentrate, I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah.
My chance of making it doesn't go up. So it would be the same speed as if I was doing a practice shot. It would be dribble, little spin, one more dribble,
It's a free
look
throw.
up, and then shoot.
Okay.
And if I ever hesitated or decided to hold on and like concentrate,
Yeah.
I would miss because I'm changing it. So that's the same thing. It's like do the thing that you have done from day one. Don't change it. You're not gonna find some secret along the way. like
Yeah.
foam rolling. If you've never foam rolled during your warm-ups, it's not going to change anything on the day of the meet.
I used to foam roll an hour every single day, like before a workout.
I remember that.
I used to foam roll the shit out of everything.
Yeah, I remember that. And I'll be like, bro.
And then I talked to so many. I've been into so many competitions, over 10 competitions now. I've talked to so many great lifters, and I asked them, you know, how do you recover from injury or like aches and pains? How do you recover? Do you foam roll? Do you do preventative maintenance like foam rolling? They go like, you know what? Every single one has told me, all we do is just get more movement in whatever is hurting. More movement. Just move. No foam rolling or nothing. Like if your hips hurt, move your hips, like circles or whatever, like active stretching.
Get blood through there.
Yeah, that's it. Like body weight squats, jumping, all of that, running. That's what helps. Like one of the most common ones is shoulder aches, shoulder impingement, your rotator cuff for the bench. So I asked, how do you cure that? Like face pulls, banded pulls, all these rows. Wall slides. Like I'm like, wow, how about foam rolling? Like foam rolling is cool and all, but like 50 years ago they didn't have foam rolls. 50 years ago they still have records that are still standing today that are like 50 years old. So
that's the big key from that. If anybody is listening to that, is you ask people who are really good at what they're doing, and then you listen to it.
Yeah. So immediately I stopped foam rolling.
Yeah.
Unless the pain is excruciating.
Yeah.
At least I know what to do then.
See, this is the thing that blocks a lot of people, is that they have opinions, but they don't have results or experience or results for other people.
Yeah.
So if you're a person who's trying to achieve a goal in anything, obviously, but in this context, your health and your fitness and your lifting and your powerlifting, it's like if you have chosen somebody to listen to, turn your brain off. Like, ask the question, get the answer, and then follow through with it.
Yeah.
Your opinions don't matter. In fact, they'll block you from executing what you've been told because you're too busy putting your 2 cents in. Your 2 cents don't matter. Like, why do we have coaches? Because they're more experienced than us. They have the results that we want, and if we just listen to them, we'll get the results too. But most people, I mean, I talked to a lot of people. Last year I talked to 1,000 people, and a large percentage of them did not get the results they wanted because they were too busy telling me about, what they thought works, which, we can discuss it, but at the end of the day, you got to put that away because otherwise you wouldn't be sitting in front of me if you had it figured out, and this is very timely because I don't know if you've seen this quote circulating a lot recently because Stephen Hawking died, which was the most dangerous thing isn't ignorance, it's the illusion of knowledge.
I like that.
And so when we fall into that trap, then we really fuck ourselves up, and which is hard. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And so you're not a bad person if you are falling into that trap. But so what about warming up for like the deadlift or the bench? By the way, so you guys heard it, what's the warm up for the squat? So what's the warm up for the deadlift?
Warm up for the deadlift, same thing. Warm up your lower body and then hit sets like you do in training for the deadlift. No rocket science to it.
Do you ever find people who warm up too much and then they fatigue themselves
Oh,
before
yeah.
they get to their final or
All
to
the time.
to
So
the
there
set.
are. It's obviously subjective. Like Michael Jordan has his own way of warming up. I have athletes that need a little bit more sets to really. You know what? I feel this more as I grow older too, and it doesn't. I think it doesn't matter with age. I honestly don't think it matters with age. It just matters on how you feel.
Yeah.
Like if you feel like, oh man, that felt a little heavy. Let me just put one more warm up set before I hit my attempt on the platform.
Yeah.
So it's like you'll call it. The more you train, you'll get smarter in knowing yourself, right? So one, you never warm up like it's gonna be a work. You make your workouts. You make your warm up like a workout, right? So.
That's when you get tired.
Yep.
And
Then it becomes a workout. It's not a competition.
Yeah. Well,
It's not CrossFit.
It's not CrossFit, damn. Well, that reminds me of something David Delanave said to me when he was here, in like 2014 or 2013. And we were talking about warming up, and which is why I like biofeedback so much.
Yeah. You can just go in.
Yeah, you just go in and you fucking lift.
Yeah, you just go in.
And you just test everything.
Yep.
And it will tell you, oh, okay, you're cool, good, go for it.
Yeah.
Or not. And so because I was asking him like, oh, do you foam roll with your
No.
warm up? And he was like, nah, I don't
Yeah.
do that shit.
Also, one of the people that pushed me to stop foam rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if you don't know what biofeedback is, by the way, make sure you check that out. Google gym movement, David Delanave, biofeedback. I can't say enough good things about it, so just and there's no way I can summarize it right now, so dive into that yourself. But I will tell you, it's a game. It was one of the game changers for me, because I was a broken young man until I discovered biofeedback. So thank you to Frankie Fairs, Adam Crane, and of course David Delanave. So I think to summarize, anybody who's doing something or competing in a competition, powerlifting or otherwise, don't change up. Or for bodybuilders, don't change up what you've been doing the week of. Like, stick to the game plan. Like, if you warm up a certain way, warm up the same way. You don't need new shit. It's not going to add 20 pounds. Like, be logical. It's not going to add 20 pounds to your deadlift.
Yep. Eat normally.
Eat normally. That's a big one. What kind of shit have you seen with, like, people changing their diets?
They will try to. The people that I have competed with are beasts, and I respect them all. And I would never do what they did, which is like cut 20 pounds in 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah, I would not recommend that.
I have great friends from competitions that have cut down 20 pounds in 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
And here I am, just worried about 5 pounds.
Yeah. I think it's the right way. I mean,
I think it's the best way. I'm like, man. Then it gets to like sacrificing your health.
yeah. And you know what? Sure, there's something to be said about, doing whatever you need to win. But I'm like, man, it's just more fucking badass to be like, this is your legitimate weight. You're legitimately this weight. You're not like walking around 50 pounds or 20 pounds heavier.
But then again, I invite and encourage anyone that wants to do that to go ahead. Lose those 20 pounds, because there might be a guy like me who just walks around his weight and still deadlifts more than you.
Damn, shots fired. But no, dude, I agree with that, because part of the cool thing is like doing things that are just badass. And one thing that I take pride in is like, sometimes I'll be like, damn, that motherfucker has a big deadlift. But then I'm like, damn, I'm like 50 pounds lighter than him, and my deadlift is just as big as his.
Yeah.
You know, and so those things are cool, and I think it's just healthier in the long run. Like,
Definitely.
if you're naturally 180, just fucking be at 180. Get as strong as possible at 180. And this is more for like the newer people getting into it and who are easily influenced. Don't get influenced by what you see on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, where these people are doing drastic weight cuts, because first of all, it's not healthy. Second of all, like, I mean, we would argue that, you should be competing in your weight class, son. You should, if you're 180, go fucking lift in the 180s.
No one's gonna give you $10,000 to cut weight.
Yeah, it's and then I see that side of it of like, oh, hey, you could get a world record if you cut down to this weight and you're able to maintain your deadlift or whatever. That's cool, I get it. But I still, and by the way, I've contemplated like going down to 148 and lifting 500, but I'm super tall, so I mean, I'm not super tall, but I'm 5'11", and being 148, I'll be like the tallest guy.
Yeah.
But that would be pushing the limit for me. Although I think I'm probably naturally like 150 anyway, so it wouldn't be a huge stretch. So I'll give myself a pass on that, and it would still be badass because I'm be taller than all those guys. So it's all good. Anyways, we'll summarize this with the quote of the evening. Do you have it now?
You reach, I teach.
No, that is not the quote of the night, but that is a good one.
You dance with the girl that you brought?
Yeah, dance with the girl that brought you to the goddamn dance, all right? Don't be dancing with all these other girls when you brought this girl to the dance, all right? So we'll leave it with that. Hopefully that's helpful. As always, make sure you leave a comment or a review or some shit like that. Whatever you think. If you think it's bullshit, go ahead and say that. And we will see you guys next time. And the next one will probably be in Punjabi. So if you don't speak Punjabi, then don't listen to it.